Good evening and welcome to the 7 o'clock news bulletin from the Sultanate of Oman television. First, the headlines. The Sultanate participates in the World Economic Forum on the Middle East and North Africa in Jordan. To document the modern Omani history, Shabab Oman Vessel Voyages book is launched. And huge explosions rocked the outskirts of the Yemeni capital today after Arab-led air strikes against positions held by Houthis rebels and their allies. Thank you for joining us. Those were the headlines, and now the news in detail. His Majesty Sultan Qaboos bin Saeed sent a cable of condolences to His Highness Sheikh Sabah Al-Ahmed Al-Jaber Al-Sabah, Emir of the State of Kuwait, on the death of His Excellency Jassim Mohammed Al-Khurafi, former Chairman of the Kuwaiti National Assembly. Assigned by His Majesty Sultan Qaboos, His Excellency Dr. Salim bin Nasser Al Ismaili, Chairman of the Public Authority for Investment Promotion and Exports Development ITHRA, leads the Sultanate's delegations in the World Economic Forum on the Middle East and North Africa at the Dead Sea in Jordan. Prior to his departure, ITHRA Chairman said that the forum avails the opportunity to discuss the most important political, economic, social and technological issues. He hoped that the discussions during the forum would come up with ideas to impede the challenges. He further stated that a number of decision makers, politicians and representatives of the government units took part in the forum to exchange ideas and views on matters of common concern. The three-day forum comes under the theme of creating a regional framework for prosperity and peace through public and private cooperation. Within its efforts to document the modern Omani history, Al-Ru'ya Press and Publishing Establishments launched Shabab Oman Vessel Voyages book under the auspices of His Highness Sayyid Shihab bin Tariq Al Said. The book, which folds in 200 pages of medium size, includes a number of rare pictures that document the voyages of Shabab Oman by the shipmasters Chris and the ship crew. The pictures depict the vessel's voyages near the Statue of Liberty in New York and many other ports. Deaf category organized a loyalty and gratitude procession for His Majesty the Sultan and took to the streets with the Sultan's flag hoisting and cheering sincere greetings and best wishes to His Majesty, the beloved leader. They prayed to Almighty to protect His Majesty and endure him with good health. During the procession, the participants highlighted the kindness of His Majesty towards this portion of the society, especially the royal grant to establish Al-Amal Club for the deaf. You're watching the Sultanate of Oman television, and still to come in our news bulletin. Heavy rain caused flooding in Texas in the United States. Welcome back to the news from the Sultanate of Oman television. A suicide bomber blew himself up at a mosque in eastern Saudi Arabia during Friday prayers, killing around 20 people and wounding more than 50. No one claimed responsibility for the bombing, the first of such attack in Saudi Arabia since November, when gunmen killed at least 8 people in an attack on a religious anniversary celebrations. One witness described a huge explosion at the mosque in the village of Al-Qadih, where more than 150 people were praying. A spokesman for the Saudi Interior Ministry called calling the attack an act of terrorism, said the bomber detonated a suicide belt hidden under his clothes inside the mosque, causing a number of people to martyred or wounded. Huge explosions rocked the outskirts of the Yemeni capital today after Arab-led airstrikes against positions held by Houthi rebels and their allies. In North Sana'a, coalition warplanes attacked a stadium and a camp of the Republican Guards loyal to ousted President Ali Abdullah Saleh. Other targets included other camp in Sama and Delaimi Air Base near the capital's international airport. Residents said the coalition also struck Houthi positions in Ma'rib province to the east of Sana'a, but no immediate casualties tolls were available for any of the raids. Insurgents seized a hospital from Syrian government forces who had been besieged there since late April. The Al-Qaeda-linked Nusra Front, one of the insurgents groups involved in the offensive, said government forces had fled the hospital outside the town of Jisr al-Shughur in Idlib province. The observatory said dozens of Syrian troops had managed to escape and the insurgents were in complete control of the hospital. Severe flooding is wreaking havoc in parts of Corpus Christi, Texas. Dozens of cars were submerged with water as recent heavy rains left parts of the city flooded. Officials have been working to pull cars out of high water areas. Cars were overcome with water on local roads. Residents rode down streets in kayaks and boats. The heavy rain comes after a year-long drought. Forecasters expect more severe weather through the weekend, which is the Memorial Day holiday in the United States. With that story from Texas in the United States to the general weather forecast. Clear skies will prevail over the Sultanate. Winds will be southerly to southeasterly light to moderate. Seas will be rough with a maximum wave height of 2.5 meters. Clear skies will prevail in the country. You're watching the Sultanate of Oman television, and before we end tonight's bulletin, here are the main points once again. The Sultanate participates in the World Economic Forum on the Middle East and North Africa in Jordan. To document the modern Omani history, Shabab Oman Vessel Voyages book is launched. And huge explosions rocked the outskirts of the Yemeni capital today after Arab-led airstrikes against positions held by Houthi rebels and their allies. And with that, we come to an end of tonight's news bulletin. From all of us here in the newsroom and the studios, it's good night.